Good morning. I'm just going to give it a hot second to let a few people hop on. I know it takes a minute for Facebook to even register. There we go. If you're hopping on, let me know where you're watching from. I am so excited about this. I'm just going to share this into a couple of our pages real quick. Good morning, Julie. If you did not get the memo, make sure you have a pen and a paper or your journal. I have my journal that I brought, but if you don't have a journal, that's fine. Just grab you a pen and a paper. Houston, Texas. I'm actually from New Mexico originally, so I love Texas. And by the way, this is something that I'm going to keep posted, so if you don't get to watch all of the live, that's okay. You're welcome to come back and watch the replay. I don't always do that, but I am going to do that on this one. Arkansas, Colorado. Hey, Janice, are you feeling a little bit better? I know you've been pretty sick for a little while, which sucks. Hi, Nellie. Okay, so we're going to talk about this subject of creating joy. Every single morning, my team and I do this. Sometimes I lead it, sometimes other leaders lead it. But basically what we do is we have a little journaling / devotional section or session with Cali. Cali, what? Yes, I love California. I've never been there, but I want to go there. But a little just like devotional session that we just kind of like to start our day together and really uplift each other and promote each other. And I think it's amazing. I've never had a job that has this much support ever when it comes to like personal growth mindset. And then also just, again, like uplifting each other and really like working toward a common goal. But that does not mean it's all rainbows and sunshine. So what we do is every single morning we hop on and again, we just fuel each other. Do you want to say hi? She's like lurking around the camera. Fuel each other and just kind of just make each other better. That's all I can really say. All right. Say hi.
Hi.
Don't shake everything. Okay. Mwah. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys 3 journal prompts. So these are 3 things that you're going to write down on your own. And you can share some if you want in the comments. Like if you're comfortable sharing some of these, definitely do give each other ideas. If not, this is something that can be very personal. And then we're going to do, after we do those 3 things, we're going to do a super short little devotional that ties them all together. And we'll be done. So usually this is just for our team. I wanted to open it up today because I just felt like sometimes it is nice to open this up to everybody and kind of bring you guys into our culture just for like a little hot minute and you can get some benefit from it. So first thing I want you to do is write down 5 things that bring you joy. Now these 5 things you want to be specific and they want to be things that you can control. So for example, saying when your kid is good for the day, it brings you joy. That's not something you want to write down. You can't control that. It want to be things that you can control. And I'll tell you my 5. It might spark some of yours. It might not. That's okay. My 5 are getting outside, journaling, cleaning, teaching, and the beach. So I'm going to kind of go through and tell you how I control all of those. Getting outside, first off, I live in Indiana. So right now, you can't see it, but it is snowing outside. But you know what I did, and this is probably a little ghetto, but I don't care. I have an office in my house that has a little tiny window. It's the smallest room in the house because that makes sense for being the office, right? Like you're not going to take the master bedroom and make it an office. But so during the summer, I usually work outside. I either go to the beach and I sit at the pavilion and I work there, or I sit in my garage with the door open. I am super, super white, so I have to like sit under something or I burn and blister. So again, things that you can control, right? So I sit inside my garage and I work outside. Like being outside just fuels me. So about probably 6 or 7 months out of the year, probably. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but probably 6 or 7 months. It's too cold to do that. So what I just found this winter, I was starting to get kind of the winter blues. Because I'm cooped up in my office all day. Well, not all day, but all day long that are my work hours. So what I did is I brought my desk out, and it's a small portable one on purpose so I can bring it different places. I brought it out and I set it in our living room next to our giant picture window. And I literally am sitting outside working and journaling, watching the snowfall. And it gives my brain enough of the illusion that I'm outside that joy is automatic. Journaling is another one that's kind of self-explanatory, and there's so many different things that you can journal about. Cleaning is one. I'm not talking like I don't want to walk in someone's house and clean their house, but my cleaning routine, every day I spend 45 minutes to an hour. It just depends on the day. I stick earbuds in, I put on music, and I dance around my house, and I clean, and I just make sure everything is where it goes. I am OCD. Like, those of y'all that know me, you know this. So it just gives me joy looking at the finished product and then going through the process. Like, I have in my head a list of, like, things that need done in order, and I finish up with putting the laundry away that I washed the night before. Like, boom, everything in its place, and it just brings me joy. I'm weird like that. That's okay. Some of y'all are going to have cooking on your list. I do not have that on my list. I hate cooking. But some of y'all, that brings you joy. Teaching is one. And again, that's why I love this business so much. I literally am a teacher, and I get paid to teach other women how to be better. Hey, Sierra. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Michelle. And then the beach. And that's one that I only go to, again, a few months out of the year. But I love going to the beach. So write down 5 things that you can control that you know bring you joy. When you're done, drop me a 1 in the comments. I'm not going to move on until everyone's done with this, or not everyone, but a lot of y'all. And if you want to share, please do share in the comments. Give each other ideas. Again, that's one reason we do these. We usually do Zooms, but this live is to share ideas with other people. And how can I help you? Yeah, Janelle, I thought of you when I said cooking because I know you love cooking. But how can we help people bring more joy into their life? Like, how do we inspire people to be more joyful? So when you're done, drop me a 1. When you have your 5 things written, I'm going to just give you a couple more minutes. And then if you would like to share some of those 5 things. Share some things that bring you joy and inspire other people. Maybe you'll type something that someone else is like, oh, that brings me joy too, and I didn't even realize it should have been on my list. Hey, Maria. So this has nothing to do. Heck yeah, shopping can be on there. Shopping brings me joy, and I didn't even write that down. See what I mean about sharing things? I need to write that down because shopping definitely brings me joy. Retail therapy. Tell my husband that all the time. Something I want to show you guys. I wasn't even planning this. This just is in my journal. Something you can do is you can do a mood tracker. So I do a mood tracker every single month, and every day I go in there and I write, was I happy that day, sad that day, or inspired that day? And if you have other feelings, you can get as in-depth as you want. Those are my main. Listening to K-Love, manicure. Yes, I do love giving myself manicures or going and get manicures. Cooking and cleaning and baking. See, baking and cooking would not bring me joy. Reading. I love to sit outside with a good book and a highlighter when it's nice and warm, and just like, again, but being outside is the main thing, I guess. Reading is just an extra. Okay, so once you have your 5 things, next thing I want you to write down. So this is number 2. Again, we're only going to have 3 journal prompts, and then we'll do the little devotional. Working out, that's a good one. Going to church is a good one. What can you do for somebody else to bring them joy? So this is something that goes back to just focusing on yourself all the time is not the best way to get out of a funk. You need to focus on other people. So write down a few things that you can think of. These, if you do not mind, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. I would love to see your ideas. A couple things that I have done before is just randomly grabbing somebody's favorite coffee and bringing it to them. Like I remember a friend of mine, her kid was sick. So obviously when your kid is sick, you usually don't go to church. So I asked her husband that morning, I was like, hey, what is her favorite coffee? And on the way home from church, we swung by, grabbed it, dropped it off at her house. Now, we sat and talked for a little longer than my husband wanted to because he was in the car with my kid, but that, that's just part of life. Going on a road trip. Okay, that's awesome. I love going on a road trip. So that's one thing you can do that can help somebody. You can watch somebody's kids. That brings them joy. Like maybe a single mom who would like to just get out and have some alone time. I like to get out and have alone time, but I have my husband that watches my kid when I want to do that. If you're a single mom, you don't have that support system. You may have family or whatever, but I'm saying like you don't have that husband. Offer, like, hey, sometime this week, would you like to go out and just have a few hours of alone time? The kids can come over and we can hang out and watch a movie. I'm trying to think. So if you can think of any others, drop down the comment. When you're done writing a few things down, drop me a 2, just again, so I know you're finished, and we'll move on to the next thing. If you like to bake or cook or whatever, you could bake somebody cookies and bring them to them. That probably would, don't do it to me because I'm on keto. It would make me irritated because I couldn't eat your cookies. But somebody else, you could do that.
Cookies.
Listening to somebody vent. That's a good one as long as you're listening to them vent and it's not turning into a gossip session. Because you don't want their mood to bring you down. So that's kind of a double-edged sword. You got to watch for that. Baking bread and giving it to somebody. Girl, I don't even know how to bake bread, so you have fun with that? Like, I go buy you some cupcakes from Meijer. Definitely would not be baking bread for nobody, though. But that is a very good idea if you know how to bake bread. If not, you're going to bring them something, and they're probably going to look at you like, this don't taste very good, but it's the thought that counts. Pulling up my little devotional to share with you guys. Taking somebody to a concert. Girl, that's another double-edged sword, but in a good way. Like, that would fuel my cup and their cup. I can't read all your comment for some reason, but cookies. Keto peanut butter cookies. Girl, you can move to Indiana and bring me that anytime you want. I will not complain. Okay, so those are all amazing ideas. So if you are just hopping on, we're doing a couple little journaling prompts. Cleaning the church for my pastor's wife. That's another good one. For a while, our pastor's wife cleaned the church with her daughters, but they cleaned it every single week. And when people jumped in and started helping, I know that definitely gave her some extra free time, which ultimately obviously filled her cup. Okay, so the last thing that I want you to do is write down your perfect day. So if money was not an object, I always say money was not an option. Like, clearly money is an option. It takes money to do things. If money wasn't an object, write down your perfect day. So write down, who would you spend it with? Would you spend it with your husband? Would you spend it with friends? Would you spend it by yourself? Like, that definitely is an option. Would it be with or without kids? Because that's your choice, right? This is your perfect day. Where would you go? What activities would you do? Would you get a massage? Would you get a manicure, pedicure? Would you go sit at the beach all day? What kind of food and drink would you have while you're there? Like, get into as much detail as possible, writing out your perfect day. This will take a couple of minutes. I'll give you guys a few minutes, and I will tell you this is going to change. Because I've done this activity more than once, and it just gets your brain dreaming and also thinking of things that maybe you tend to limit yourself because you don't think that they would ever happen. Like, for example, we haven't done it yet, but I have a day planned that will be happening. Savannah's on here. I told her about this. I think Savannah's on here, actually. If not, she'll watch the replay, I'm sure. And we are literally going to meet up, and we're going to spend the whole day just in Chicago. We're going to do shopping, massages, the spa, pedicure, manicure. I don't include getting my hair done on there because y'all see this. Okay, it is a process getting my hair done. No joke, takes like 4.5 hours. So that is not relaxing to me. That's like a chore that I have to do. So I don't have that on there. I know some of y'all would, and that's fine. For me, that's not relaxing.
Can I come with you to that?
No, honey, you're not included in that one. She's like, can I come with you to the spa? I forget that she's like, sit because she's being real quiet. I told her she's quiet. She can watch Frozen 2 when I'm done with this. So she's entertaining herself, and she's just such a good kid. And I forget that she's back there like listening to this. Julie, we're actually not having a mindset class tonight because I'm going to go into the training page and do a training for you guys. So no, this isn't in place of it, but we're not having it. So this kind of could be in place of it, I guess, right? It's kind of along the same lines. So anyways, that's one day that we have planned. Another day that I had written out my perfect day, because you have more than one perfect day. You have more than one thing that you want to do. Another day, but right now you're just writing one. I'm just giving you, like, letting you know this. It's okay that these change when this same exercise comes up. One of the days that I had planned out was with my team to just go hang out at the beach all day and kind of have fun. And guess what? We got to do that when we went to Florida, and I was so excited. Like, I did not know when we were going to do it. I just knew this is what I want to do, and it wasn't my idea. One of my teammates was like, hey, do you want to go to the beach? It's Sanibel Islands, whatever. And while we were there, we got to go on a dolphin tour, which wasn't in my perfect day because I'd never been on one, so that's not something that I'm like, ooh, I want to go do that. But guess what? Now I have written down, I want to take 10 girls on this dolphin tour next year when we all go down for the leadership conference. And so I just think that's going to be so much fun. All right. Nope, you're done. Like, give an inch, take a mile, right? Like, I let her talk for 2 seconds, and now she's like, let me yell over you and everything that you say. Let's see. I have another one planned out that, again, hasn't happened yet. But I want to take a couple of Glory's friends and their moms to the American Girl doll store in Chicago, because we live like an hour from there, so it's not that far. And just do the tea party and the pampering session and like just have them have so much fun. And I want to pay for all of it. So like buy their doll and like buy stuff while we're there. So it's going to be amazing, and we're going to do it. Now, it's not happened yet, but again, this is part of dreaming. So I have so many days planned out already that like we're going to do, and it's just, when are we going to do it? So anyways, I'm going to give you guys about, I don't want to say 5 minutes because this is live. So I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. Go ahead and write out. When you're done, drop me a 3 in the comments. You don't have to share this one. If you want to give an overview, you're welcome to. You're done. Yeah, like, no, you're done. Stop talking. Trust me, there's adults I wish I could do that too. Like the ones that like to run their mouth like, you're done. Stop talking. You're done. But, not exactly what you're allowed to do. Especially like if you're one of the ones in leadership and people are just annoying you. You can't be like, you're done. Oh, I'm sure Savannah would have loved it. I think every little girl would have loved to go to the American Girl doll store and like actually be able to like pick out things and do the tea party and that stuff. Like, I'm excited to do this. So anyways, drop me a 3 when you're done with that. Okay, I see some 3s, so actually I think that's perfect. You can go back and finish any of this up that you want to. I'm going to pull up the little devotional that goes with this and just read it and elaborate on it a little bit, and then we'll be done. Like, I am so excited. Guys, if you want me to do more journaling Zooms like this, or journaling lives, drop me a 4 in the comments. I may do these more often. I'm not 100% sure. It's not something that I am committing to right this second, but it is something I'm open to. So if you want some journaling Zooms like this, or journaling lives like this, like if this was beneficial to you, drop me down a 4. All right, I can't read all of your comment, Maria, but I'm going to because I want to see what your perfect day would be like. I think that's cool. Okay, so this says, take joy. Joy is not just a feeling, it's an attitude that comes from within us. Joy is not dependent upon our circumstances, though our circumstances will try to determine our attitude. That's good, right? When people see our joyful attitude, it can cause them to be drawn into the same attitude. Therefore, if we choose to smile as if we have no problems, then that will keep the atmosphere around us upbeat. Sometimes we just have to take joy even though we may not want to. In Philippians 4:4, it says, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Choose joy and keep yourself and those around you happy. So, I can tell you, the last 6 months, we have, like my family and I have walked through so much mud and so much crap that it would have been very easy to get discouraged. It would have been very easy to honestly kind of just decide, you know what, we're just not going to be in this church scene anymore. Like, if this is how church people act, we want nothing to do with it. that would have been a very wrong attitude, because we would have been reflecting church. Church should reflect God, but it doesn't always reflect God. Christians do not always reflect God. We should, but we're all humans. We don't. So that would have been wrong on our part, and that would have detoured a lot of people also, had we kind of taken our drama to our audience, because my husband and I do have a large following and large influence in different areas. So that would have been very wrong. Like, that would have been detrimental to people. Instead, we decided, and we, mainly meaning me, because my husband is definitely affected less by outside circumstances than I am. I'm just an emotional person. Like, I feel emotions very deeply. I decided, I have been through deep, dark depression. I have been through so much anxiety in my life. This was not going to be another place I was going to go there because of what was happening in our life. So what I decided is I was going to take joy into my own hands, because that is biblical. Again, the Bible talks about joy is something that we choose. Joy is something that comes from within, and specifically comes from God, not from people around us. So the 5 things I have written down for myself, those are things that I knew I could turn to and make myself joyful, even on the crappiest of days. Even after the meeting that just went completely wrong and you felt like you were just being attacked the entire time. After the text message of people just ragging on you and dragging your character through the mud and spewing lots of lies because they had heard so-and-so say something. So after any of those situations that we had gone through, I specifically would go to one of these 5 things and get my attitude in check, because me having a crappy attitude, I'm not saying I didn't have bad days or bad moments. I cried lots of tears. I definitely vented to a couple of people. I know Savannah's on here. She's one that I vented to. I specifically only vented to people I knew were not part of the situation, because I wasn't going to drag anyone else through the mud. Me bringing myself down to that level and doing the same thing that other people were doing to my family would not have helped the situation. We would have just lowered our own standards. So I decided I'm going to take joy into my own hands, and I can honestly tell you the last 6 months, I didn't have a low point of like, a week of thinking that my life sucked and woe me and whatever. Now, again, I had low moments, and I had a moment where we had to step back for a while and just kind of take focus on ourselves and say, you know what? Like, this is causing us so much anxiety and so much strain that it's not worth it. And then eventually, God led us into a much better situation. And yeah, like sometimes, like there are people that feel emotions much deeper than other people. I'm one of those people. That's a great thing, because when I love and when I show empathy and when I rejoice with you, like I am all in. That also means when I'm sad with you, when I'm discouraged, I'm all in. Like, my emotions are I'm very in tune with my emotions. I feel things very deeply. And I think it's because I spent so many years hiding my emotions, because that's what I was taught by different people, to just kind of keep it all in, that when I finally started feeling my emotions, I realized, like, wow, like I feel things very deeply, and it's so much easier to just hide them, which is not a good thing. So, anyways, you are in control of your joy. So you need to know, okay, what brings me joy that I can control, and you need to run to those things when you're not feeling joyful. And then the second thing that goes right along with that is when you're focusing on helping other people, it's a lot harder for you to be discouraged and be playing the victim and the whole woe me card. I can't tell you how many times in the last 6 months that we've brought people coffee. We've paid for people in line behind us. We've gone to kids' sporting events. We have just done all the things to focus on other people, because if we focused on the wrong that was going on in our own life and focused on the negativity that people were bringing into our life and focused on the things that people were saying about us behind our back that weren't true, it would have been very easy for us to just be depressed and discouraged and kind of, again, give up on the whole, why am I even trying to help people when so many people don't want to be helped? And then the last thing is the creating your perfect day. That gets you dreaming, because it does not matter if your perfect day was going to cost you $1 million. You can do it if you put your mind to it. And again, my team is living proof of that. So many of us have replaced our full-time income completely off of social media, and we're running to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per month that we can use to help other people, that we can use to spoil our families, that we can use to spoil ourselves. So whatever you dream, A total empath, yeah. Yes. Whatever you dream, you can absolutely do. And you need to get into the habit of daily dreaming, daily journaling, daily feeling your emotions. And that is going to bring the entire world around you. It's just going to be such a brighter place. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be doing more of these because it looks like a lot of you guys like them. And I think that's amazing. And have an awesome rest of your, what is today? Thursday. Y'all, work from home problems right here. I don't even know what day it is. Have an awesome rest of your Thursday. Bye, guys.